So tonight for class, I do recommend if you happen to have blocks, they're great to have by your mat. They're not going to be absolutely mandatory. But even before we start, if you don't happen to have a light blanket nearby, or even just a small towel, which you can put over your eyes so that you can rest really deeply when we get to Shavasana, I'd love for you just to take 30 seconds or so to grab yourself a light blanket or to grab yourself a little pillow, eye pillow, or a little towel to cover your eyes so we can go into our rest later on. I just have to situate myself here, make sure my... All right, well, welcome. I'm Suzy. I'll be guiding you guys through your practice tonight. Why don't we begin by grounding ourselves and coming into child's pose. So when you come into child's pose, you can start having your knees a little wider than hips width distance apart. Let your big toes touch, sinking your hips back, allowing the forehead to come down towards your mat. Once your forehead is resting down on your mat, have a gentle bend in your elbows. Feel free to sway your hips a little side to side. Allow your rib cage to tuck comfortably between the knees. Then feel your breath start to deepen. Softening through your jaw and through your face. Begin to stretch out the inhalation and stretch out the exhalation. And a gesture of release and offering and letting whatever has been weighing us down go. Let's flip our palms face up to the sky. Take a deep breath in. And when you exhale, feel a sense of exhaling out whatever you feel ready to set down. Let's take a deep breath in. One more time, exhale, releasing. And then let's breathe deeply and bring into our mind someone that we'd like to include in the benefits of our practice tonight. Are you the first person that comes to your mind? Dedicate the fruits of your practice to them, the peace you create, the harmony, the balance, the centeredness, the loving kindness, self-acceptance, the feeling of peace when we are fully present. Share that feeling with this person. And if no one is immediately coming to mind, maybe think of all beings everywhere. May they feel a sense of peace. Take a deep breath in. And once you've exhaled it slowly out, I'm going to rise up slowly into a tabletop position. When you get into tabletop pose, take the right hand, stretch it high to the sky, and inhale. And on your exhalation, release the right arm underneath, threading the needle, placing the right shoulder and ear on the mat. Left hand can crawl forward. You can tent the fingers or winding the arm behind your back if you'd like an added stretch. Feel free to close your eyes. This is a perfect place to begin your Ujjayi breathing. Breathing in and out through the nose. And while you're exhaling, keep your lips closed, but imagine that you're fogging up a mirror. Hear the sound of your breath. Slide your hand back, press up, reach the right arm up to the sky, and then release right hand down towards your mat. Try the other side, left hand's lifting high in an inhale. Thread the needle, the arm goes underneath. Place your left shoulder on the mat. If you'd like to place your left ear, right hand can crawl forward, or please feel free to send it behind your back. What's beautiful is we can try something on, and if it does not fit our needs, we can exit, adjust. We can skip a pose altogether if it does not feel right tonight. Slide your right palm back underneath the shoulder, press into the hand, and sweep your left hand up to the sky. And place the hand down onto the mat. Walk your hands forward about another foot. And tucking your toes underneath, reach your seat to the sky. Coming into downward facing dog, creating an upside down V shape with your body. Starting with your hands shoulder distance, your feet hip width apart. Take a moment to bend one knee and then the other. Press evenly into your palms, especially plug down into your thumb and pointer finger. Push the mat away, reach your hips higher, and thigh bones pressing towards the wall behind you. Heels can drop down a little closer if that feels all right. And let your head drop and hang heavy. Next inhalation, take the right leg and reach it up to the sky. Bend your knee, open up your hip, and draw your heel towards your opposite shoulder blade, opening up the hip. Right hip will stack on top of left. Inhale, send your leg back to the sky. On your exhalation, step your foot forward between your hands. Once you're in a low lunge, you're going to take the right hand, reach it up to the sky. 3 big circles with your right arm, reach it towards the back wall, down towards the floor. Reaching it forward and upward to open up the shoulder and chest. Do that 2 more times on your own. And then releasing the hands down. Plant the palms. Come on back into downward facing dog. Take the left leg upward with an inhale. And you can bend your knee. Start to open up your hip. Your heel is working towards the right side of the room or your right shoulder blade. Some adjustments that can make the pose feel different is to take your low ribs and draw them into the body. And then maybe let the knee come higher to the sky. Inhale your leg upward. When you exhale, step your foot forward between your palms. Left hand stretches up to the sky. In your low lunge twist, you can reach your left hand towards the back of the room, down towards the floor, send it forward and open it up. 2 more big circles. Imagine that you're moving your arm through honey. Release your hand down towards your mat. Step your foot forward to the top of the mat. Ragdoll pose, separating the feet hip width apart. Fold forward. You can grab your opposite bicep. Maybe sway the head side to side. Nod at yes, nod at yo. Nod at yes, nod at yo. Nod no. And then tonight, for an added neck release, interlace your fingers, okay? And then just bring the back of the palms, the back of the hands to the base of the skull and allow the weight of your arms to hang down. So we're not pulling on the neck, but we're just assisting and allowing gravity to deeply release the neck. And the hands can release down towards the floor. On an inhalation, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, folding forward. Press down into your feet, and on a long inhalation, rise slowly up into a mountain pose, reach to the sky. Guide your hands to your heart, moving into Samasthiti, standing at attention pose. Take a moment to close your eyes, sending your awareness inward and deepening your Ujjayi breathing. Hear your breath. Reconnect with the person that you're sharing the energy of this practice with. And as we move tonight, move with the intention that this is a giving, that what you create on your mat tonight is a rippling outward of peace, of love, of balance and harmony. So with an inhalation, open your eyes, release your hands down. Sweep the arms to the sky for mountain pose Siddhasana. Joining the palms together overhead is optional. On the exhalation, fold forward, bringing the hands through the heart center. Reaching the fingertips down towards the floor. Knees can bend. Head is hanging heavy. Next inhalation is halfway lift. Create a flat back. You can gaze down towards the mat to keep the neck long. Plant your palms and step it back into a high plank position. High plank pose, the legs can be straight, or you can place your knees down. Bend the elbows straight back and lower either halfway down or all the way down to the floor. On the inhalation, we'll come to upward facing dog or cobra. Cobra, the pelvis, the thighs and knees are on the mat. For upward facing dog, we're lifting the knees, thighs up off the ground. Downward facing dog, reaching seat to the sky. Take 2 deep breaths. Breath in. Exhale out. Breathing in. Empty all the air out. Step or hop your feet to the top of the mat. Let's begin to flow with our breath. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, mountain pose, reaching to the sky. Exhale, folding forward, hands to the heart, reaching for the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. On your exhale, plant palm, step or hop it back, high to low plank, chaturanga. Inhale can be upward facing or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Empty it out. Breathing in. Exhale the air out. And step or hop the feet to the top of the mat. Inhales, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, mountain pose. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, chaturanga, high to low plank. Inhales, upward dog or cobra. Downward facing dog, exhale. Breathing in. Breathing out. Bigger breath in. Exhale all of it out. And step or hop to the top of the mat. One more time through. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Breathe bigger. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, chaturanga. Upward dog or cobra. Downward facing dog. Right away, take the right leg high to the sky. Breathe in. Exhale your knee to your nose. Inhale, leg high. Exhale, knee to the nose. Inhale, leg is high. Exhale, step your foot forward between your hands. Coming into a low lunge, place the back knee down. Walk your right foot to the middle line of your mat. We can rise up onto fingertips, or if you'd like, you could use yoga blocks. Draw the heart forward, the hip forward, gently stretching the front of the hip. My tip is if you can't smile, you've gone a little too far, right? So use that sort of ability to have like that gentle Buddha smile, right? That kind of smile that people are wondering like what you're up to, right? If you have a hard time with creating that, then we're just going to ease up a little bit. Maybe just bring it back just a touch, then reconnect with your breath. Yeah, and then you could go deeper with your breathing. Half split, lean the hips back. Toes will point up towards the sky. Pinky side of foot draws back a little bit more. Heart can come forward. Bend the front knee, plant the palms. Three-legged downward facing dog, inhale. And then on the exhalation, step your foot forward. Step the other foot forward to the top of the mat. Forward fold. Inhale, we'll come to a halfway lift, flat back. Exhale and fold. Reach the sky, rising tall. Mountain pose. Folding forward, exhale. Inhales, halfway lift, flat back. On the exhale, step or hop back, chaturanga. Option to skip it as well. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Moving back to downward facing dog. Take your left leg high and inhale. Exhale, knee to the nose. Inhale, the leg high. Exhale, knee to the nose. Inhale your leg to the sky. On the exhalation, stepping your foot forward. Scooting your left foot towards the middle line of your mat. And then placing the back knee down. Rising up onto the right fingertips, draw the heart forward. This runner's lunge. We're stretching the front of the hip, quadricep. Breathe into any places that feel a little tight. And then also, there's something called satya in Sanskrit, which means truthfulness or honesty, which is important on our yoga mats, to be honest with ourselves about our edge. In our culture, we're taught to always go way past our edge, to push ourselves really hard. So our yoga mat's an opportunity for us to learn a new way of being. Let's go ahead and slide the hips back. And the toes are pointing up towards the sky. Draw the pinky side of the foot back a little bit more. Yeah, just to kind of cultivate some deeper sensation. You can fold forward, dropping the gaze down. Bend the front knee, plant the palms. Three-legged down dog on the inhale. And when you exhale, step your foot forward to the top of your mat. Step your other foot forward. Inhales, half lift. Exhale, fold. Our first chair pose is next. With the inhale, rise to mountain pose. And then we're sitting back into chair pose. If you happen to have a yoga block handy, you can place the block on its kind of skinniest side between the knees. And utilizing the yoga block helps to solidify the engagement of the inner thighs. And then we can lift through the lower abdomen. Okay. Hands can be at the heart, overhead, or my favorite is airplane arms, reaching the arms back, hugging the shoulder blades together, and then sinking just a little lower into the seat. If the yoga block is not there, imagine that you're holding on, right, to your block, an ostrich egg or a little soccer ball or something. Next inhalation, reach the arms up. Exhale, airplaning the arms. One more like that. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, airplane the arms. To release, we'll come to mountain pose. Inhale, reach tall. Fold it forward. Exhale. If you've got a block, grab it. Set it aside. Halfway lift on your inhalation. Planting the hands, step or hop back, chaturanga. Or you can bypass that and hold high plank. Upward facing, then downward facing dog. Take the right leg up high. Exhale, knee to the nose. Inhale, take your leg high. On this exhalation, step your right foot forward between your palms, place your back knee down, untuck the toes. Inhale, arms sweep up to the sky, low crescent lunge. Exhale, plant the palms. Three-legged downward facing dog, inhale. Exhale forward to high plank, hold here, or one-legged chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take your left leg high, breathe in. Exhale, knee to the nose. Inhale the leg high. Exhale, stepping your foot forward. Place your back knee down, untuck the toes, and with an inhale, the arms sweep up, low crescent lunge. Plant the hands, step it back, three-legged down dog. Inhaling forward to high plank to hold, or chaturanga. Up dog, breathing in. Downward facing dog, breathing out. Take a breath in. Exhale out. Breathe in. Empty it out. Then step or hop to the top of your mat. Inhale to a half lift. Exhale and fold. Inhale, rise to mountain pose, Savasana. Sitting back into your chair pose, airplane the arms right away. Inhale, back up to mountain pose. Fold forward, exhale. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, chaturanga, step, hop, or skip. Inhales, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Right leg lifting high, breathe in. Exhale, knee to the nose. Inhale the leg high. Exhale, step your foot forward, back knee comes down. Inhale, arms reach up, low crescent. Exhale, plant your palms. Three-legged dog. Inhale, forward high plank. Chaturanga. Upward facing. Downward facing. Left leg high. Knee to the nose. Inhale it high. Stepping it forward. Low crescent lunge. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, plant the palms. Three-legged down dog. Inhale. Forward to chaturanga. Upward dog, in breath. Downward facing dog, exhale. Right back to the right side. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, knee to the nose. Inhale, leg high. Step it forward, exhale. Inhale, low crescent lunge. Exhale, hands to the mat. Inhale, three-legged dog. Come forward to high plank hold or chaturanga. Upward dog. Downward facing dog. Left leg lifted. Knee to the nose, exhale. Inhale it high. Exhale, step it forward. Low crescent lunge, inhale. Exhale, plant the palms. Three-legged dog, inhale. Forward to high plank. Lowering down, chaturanga. Up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a breath in. Exhale it out. One more time, breathe in. Exhale the air out. Step or hop to the top of your mat. Inhale's half lift. Exhale will fold. Inhale, reach to the sky mountain pose. On the exhalation, sitting back into your chair pose, airplane the arms, hug shoulder blades together. This time, keep reaching behind you and interlace your fingers. Draw the knuckles back. Then fold it forward on the exhale, keeping the hands interlaced, stretching shoulders and chest. Hands releasing down towards the mat. Come into a half lift on an inhale. When you exhale, step your left foot behind you into a low lunge. Spin the heel down, warrior one, Virabhadrasana. Arms can reach tall when you're ready. You can always adjust your stance, make it a little longer. Take the front foot inch to the right, create more stability. Feel the feet even, legs strong. Arms reach tall. And to create just a little bit, right, of opening for the heart, interlace your fingers. Back of hands come to the back of the head, the elbows bend. Then lay your head into your hands and gently float your heart upward. Breathe here. Now, can you have that little Buddha smile where someone's going to be suspicious that you're up to no good, right? Inhale, the arms reach high. On the exhalation, let's open up into a warrior two. Maybe just flap your wings. You can bend and straighten your front leg. Move a little energy. Aligning your front heel with the heel of your back foot. Send your gaze out beyond the tips of your fingers, plugging into your back foot. Something that I want you to be careful is if your back hip. In this pose, it's really tempting to want to kind of shove the hips under and tuck the tailbone too much, where this feels overstretched and a little bit awkward. So it's okay to kind of stick your seat back a little bit so that you find like a neutral pelvis. Yeah. Now reaching it forward. Flip your palm, reverse your warrior. And gaze towards your back foot. If you'd like to add a little bit of shoulder stretching here, take cow face arms. Top hand comes to nape of neck. Back hand or left hand reaches up and behind you. If they touch, great. If they don't, great. Right? That's what's so beautiful about the practice. Everything is progress. Often taking step backs is huge progress. Release that. Plant your palms into your mat. Step it back. High plank pose. Side plank. Slide the right hand forward an inch. Roll it to the right. Left hand's reaching upward. Okay, stay right here. Place the right knee down. Another option is float your left leg up. Bend your knee and step it behind you. Moving into a wild thing. Reaching left hand up overhead. Maybe even try to like imagine touching the ground. And it's okay if there's space. Come back to side plank and high plank pose. Yogi's choice if you'd like a little chaturanga up dog. And we'll meet in down dog. Breath in. Exhale out. Breathe in. Take a big sigh. Exhaling out. Gaze to your hands. Step or hop it forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, folding. Inhale, rising tall, reaching up, join palms together. And when you exhale, sit it back into your chair. Take your arms back like airplane wings. Keep reaching behind you, interlace your fingers, draw the knuckles back, and then we'll fold it forward. Keep the hands interlaced, a few breaths here. The hands can come down towards the floor. With an inhale, halfway lift. Step your right foot behind you. Prepare for a warrior one, spin the heel down. Back toes are pointing towards 2 o'clock. The arms can reach up when you're ready. Once you get there, just observe, like, do we need more length between our feet? Maybe we can relax any gripping the toes, engage a little more through the leg muscles. Then interlace your fingers. Bend your elbows away from your heart and place your head in your hands and get a gentle chest opening stretch. Be mindful not to compress your low back, but float your heart center upward. Inhale, the arms reach back to the sky. On your exhale, open it up, warrior two. And we can just move a little bit, just shake it off. Shake off your shoulders. Somebody really wise said, shake it off. I think it was Taylor Swift. You know that sage, that guru Taylor, right? Softly gaze out. Then flip your palm up, reaching it forward. Now we'll take a reverse warrior, stretch it up and back. If you'd like to, you can gaze towards your back foot. Taking cow face arms, left hand goes to the nape of the neck. And then the right arm is going to go behind your back. And reaching up through the elbow. And then release that slowly. Plant your palm, step it back. High plank pose. For side plank, bring your big toes together. Take your left hand and make sure it's a little forward of the shoulder. You inch it forward and then roll it to the left. And sweep the right hand upward. Here we can stay, or you could place your left knee down. You could also float the right leg up. Maybe bend the knee, step it behind you if the leg is straight, and work it into a wild thing. Wild things try to come back to side plank. We're easing back into a high plank pose. Hold here or chaturanga. Up dog to downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Empty it all out. Step or hop feet to the top of your mat. Inhales, half lift. Exhale and fold. Inhale, ride the breath all the way to the top. Then sit back into a chair pose, hands at the heart. Take the arms out in front of you and flip your palms face up. Eagle arms, left arm goes underneath. Option to grab your opposite shoulder or cross up the wrist, palms touch. Left leg will sweep up and over right leg. Toes touch the earth, ankle inside or out. Hug the arms and legs tightly together. Now unwind just your leg. Send the left toes behind you. Keep reaching it back. We're stepping back into crescent lunge, so visualize your graceful descent to crescent. Balance on your back. Ball of foot, heel is lifted. The elbows then can lift up toward shoulder height, or you could take a really sweet back bend. And when I say sweet, it should feel good. If you feel like you have to grit your teeth, back it off a little. Then we're opening the arms up really wide. Reach it to the sky. On the exhalation, hands to the heart. Lean forward and twist to the right. Opposite elbow to thigh. Option to place the back knee down when doing revolving crescent lunge. Hands can be at the heart. We can open the arms wide as well. One more deep breath. Then on your exhalation, release your hands down. And moving into a winged dragon pose, you can walk your right foot all the way out towards the right edge of the mat, kind of close to the top corner. From there, we can stand our palms, the back knees resting down. You could also let the right knee wing out a little more to the right and roll to the outside edge of the foot. Right, from there, maybe explore coming down onto your elbows. Another option is to bend your back knee, reach the right hand behind you and capture your foot. I'm on my forearm, but it often is more accessible if you're up on your left palm. You could also place your palm on top of a yoga block, which makes it even more available to reach back for the foot. Release your back foot. Rise back up tall to the palms. Walk the right foot to the middle line of your mat. Plant your hands, three-legged downward facing dog. Inhale it high. On the exhale, come forward to high plank pose. Hold with one leg lifted or chaturanga. Up dog, breathing in both feet on the mat. Down dog, exhale it out. Breath in. Exhale. One more time, breathe and fill up. Exhale, empty out. Step or hop it forward. Halfway lift, lengthen. Fold forward, drop the weight of your head. Inhale, mountain pose. Sit into chair pose, begin with the hands at the heart. Then take your arms out at shoulder height. Flip your palms up, Eagle Garudasana, right side. Right arm goes under. Right leg will go up and over. Try to elongate your spine. Find a focal point on the wall or ceiling in front of you. Unwind just your leg and take it back into an airplane with eagle arms. Now we're landing in a crescent lunge, so take your time. Right, bend the knee, step the foot behind you, feel it out. We can adjust when we get there. If you feel steady, start to lift the elbows higher, lift the fingertips higher, and move into a gentle back bend. Unwind the arms, sweep it high. With the exhale, bring the hands to the heart. Lean your torso forward and twist. Revolve crescent lunge. Option to keep the back leg strong and straight or place the back knee down. And gaze over your shoulder, open the arms wide. Next exhalation, release your hands down inside the front foot. Walk your left foot out for your winged dragon pose. And come down into the elbows or let the knee wing out, roll to the outside edge of the foot. Yeah. Maybe we're exploring bending the back knee. Reach back for the foot. Nothing is forced though, right? If you feel like you have to hold your breath, right? Or maybe it feels awkward or it feels wrong, like the stretch is really intense at the knee, then we would just skip this version, not for today. Maybe next month, or next year, or next lifetime, whatever, right? We can't rush our unfolding. And let's release. Walk your foot to the middle of the mat. Plant the palms, three-legged downward facing dog. Take your leg high and inhale. Come on forward to high plank pose. You can hold and breathe, build strength, or chaturanga. Up dog and downward facing dog. Take a moment to bring the knees to the mat. If you'd like to walk your feet back, walk your hips back until they're sitting on your heels. Hero's pose. Hero's pose does stretch the knees and the quads. If it feels uncomfortable, we can come forward a little bit. Okay. If it feels okay, you could sit back a little more. Let the shoulders drop down. Next up, we'll be working on our arm balance for tonight. Okay, so for arm balancing tonight, we'll be working on crow, but I'm also going to give you guys an option if you'd like to. You can try to practice a one-legged crow pose. So if we're working on crow with two, right, with two knees, I want to start with the hands a little wider than shoulder distance, bend the elbow straight back, tuck your toes, lift your knees up, and walk your knees up close, placing your knees on the back of your triceps. What I think is really key is to gaze forward, okay? If you are working on a one-legged crow, okay, what we will do is take the left foot behind, right, and then just start to kind of lift the left leg up, play a little here, and before you know it, you might want to lean forward even more with your head so that the other foot lifts up. And we all have one side that we connect with faster, so you might even want to try the left knee and then take the right foot behind you. This is really about a balance. So what we're trying to do is tip the weight forward so the feet get lighter. Yeah, and just keep playing. if anything, we're all just not thinking about anything for like a minute, right? As you try one-legged or two-legged crow. To release this pose, we're going to find our way into a malasana or yogi squat. Take your feet wide as the outsides of your mat, pointing the toes out to about a 30-degree angle or so. Hips can sink down lower than knees, or they can stay at the same height of the knees. Elbows can press gently into the inside of the legs. Hands come into the heart. And float your heels up off the mat and slowly ascend. Come up to standing. Walk your feet in, right, until they're just about hip width apart. Inhale, sweep your arms upward. On your exhalation, bring your hands to your heart. Shift the weight onto the right foot. For tree pose, let's start with like a little tree. Placing your foot onto your calf, not above the knee, but below the knee and the calf or the ankle. Pressing your palms together. Okay, and then from this little tree, we're going to move it into an airplane, keeping your hands in a prayer position. Then can you just try to open yourself up a little bit to a half moon with your hands at a prayer? It's like an airplane turning, right? Yeah. Now let's step it back, warrior two. Once you get to warrior two, buzz, extend the arms out. Straighten your front leg. Toe heel your back foot in about a half a foot closer. For triangle pose, back toes are turned forward towards 10 o'clock so that the left hip slides forward a touch. You're going to reach forward and place your hand onto your shin, ankle, or a yoga block. Next inhale, rise up to standing. Placing the hands on the hips, rotate your right foot. Prasarita, folding forward, hinge from the hip creases. You can grab for the calves, the ankles, or the feet, and allow your head to drop down towards the mat. Now, if you want to, you can nod your head yes, shake it no.
Suzy, not sure if it's just me, but you got a little quiet.
Okay, I will adjust.
Sorry, everyone.
Can you guys hear me now? No hearing? Okay. Stay and enjoy that. My favorite yoga pose. Good thing I'm not having you guys in side plank while we're figuring this out, right? We're good now? Okay, good. Go ahead and walk your hands out in front of you. Come to a flat back. Lift your heels up. Turn your toes forward and step to the top of your mat. Now, when you get to the top of the mat, widen your feet out. Come back into your malasana, your yogi squat. And when you get down into your yogi squat, you can bring your hands together at your heart. Lift your heels up. Rise up slowly all the way to standing, or really quickly. No judgment. Walk your feet in, hip width apart. Hands to hip prayer position. Slide the sole of your right foot up to your calf. Even if you normally go to the thigh, just do the calf today to challenge yourself in a new way. Taking it back into an airplane pose with your hands at your heart center. Then we're opening up really slowly into a half moon with hands at the heart and stepping it back. Warrior two pose. Triangle pose. Reach the arms out at shoulder height. Straighten your front leg. Toe heel your back foot in a half a foot closer. Turn the toes so that your back toes point towards 2 o'clock. Reach forward and release the hand to the shin, ankle, or block. Come up slowly to standing. Place the hands on the hips. And then turn your feet to face the long edge of your mat, moving into Prasarita. This time, interlace fingers behind the back. If you'd like to try a new sensation, interlace your fingers and have your palms touching completely. A little bit different stretch for the shoulder, maybe deeper for some, maybe different for others. And releasing your hands down towards the mat. Okay. Walking hands towards the front of the mat. Step forward to the top of the mat. But this time we're going to come to seated. Once you arrive at seated pose, we'll be moving into a little bit of core work. Okay, so for core work, if you have a yoga block, grab it. If you don't happen to have a block today, that's perfectly okay. If within grabbing distance, you have like a throw pillow, if you have a stuffed animal, try not to do it with a live animal, but you'll get the point when I come all the way down. So we come down, what we're gonna do is called pass the block. So you can place your block between your feet. If you had a throw pillow or like I said, a stuffed animal's fine, not a real one. And then reach your arms overhead towards the back of your mat. And then reach your block forward in front of you. Find an angle which you're engaging your core, but you're not gripping your thighs or hurting your low back. And then reach the toes up, grab the block, and then extend everything long. And then we'll switch. Grab the block with your feet and extend. You got it. Keep going at your own pace. We'll work for about 1 minute. About 10 seconds left. And then when you're ready to hold yourself out long, hold yourself out long, hold 5, 4, 3, 2, and release. Hug your knees into your chest, give yourself a good squeeze. We can do knee circles where you take your knees in a circle in one direction a couple of times, and then circling the knees in a different direction a couple of times. I really like reclining child's pose. If you've not experienced that before, let your big toes touch and let your knees splay really wide. Place your hands on your knees, your shins, or even reach for your feet, and then allow gravity to do the work. Let the back of your head rest on the mat. You can gaze up at the sky. Yeah, allow your jaw to soften, maybe melt a little tension through the shoulders and the upper back. Great release for the low back, inner hips, hamstrings. And then let's draw the knees together. Place your feet onto the floor. Once the feet are onto the floor, we'll be moving into our bridge pose. Press down into your feet and lift your hips to the sky, tucking your triceps underneath you. When you're tucking your triceps underneath, you can keep your gaze straight up at the sky. Pinky fingers can touch the mat. And release your hips down. Sway your knees gently from side to side. And then if you'd like to, we can set up for bridge or wheel pose. In bridge pose, if you want to do a second bridge, take your block and put it between your knees. If you're doing wheel pose, block between the knees is sort of iffy. Some people, it works great. Other people, it tightens up the back. So you can always try it and drop the block. So we've got the block between the knees, feet are hip width apart. Press down into your feet, lift your hips up and tuck your arms underneath if you're staying in your bridge. If you're going into wheel, you can take the hands behind your shoulders, fingers facing forward. We're pressing down into the palms to lift the rest of the way up. In either pose, draw your knees forward away from your heart. Press your breastbone towards the back of your mat. Feel your spine lengthening. And then let's release down. Okay, once you come down, windshield wiper the knees a little side to side. And then bring the knees in together. Once the knees are into the chest, you can do your knee circles. Supine twist, the arms are reaching out like a capital T. Option to cross the right leg up over the left. Similar to eagle, but we skip crossing at the wrists in this version. We're gazing over to the right and dropping the knees to the left side of the mat. Come slowly back up to the center. You can cross your left leg up over or keep the knees stacked as they are and drop the knees over to the right. And we'll come back slowly to the center. Taking a happy baby pose, grab the bottoms of your feet. I know that the poses are in a slightly different order tonight. And this is the beginning of our hip series, so happy baby pose will be held for about 1 minute. I invite you to close your eyes if that's comfortable for you and turn your awareness inward. Begin to systematically soften the places that don't need to be tense. Your face, your jaw, your tongue, your neck and throat. Soften across your shoulders. You even try to soften as much as you can through your fingers and hands. Then begin to deepen your breath. If you'd like to explore trying to straighten just your right leg a little bit, right? Not forcing, but just noticing how far you can straighten the right leg just for sensation. So sometimes it's nice to close your eyes. So we're not even trying to go for the way the pose looks, but we're truly tapped in to how the pose feels. And then bending your knee and try the other side. Working the left leg just a little straighter. Again, fight the urge to gaze and take a look at how straight your leg is, and just take a moment to notice how the stretch feels. And then we'll go ahead and draw the knees in and slowly hugging knees into the chest, giving the knees a little bit of circle. Our next pose is a hip opener on our back. So if you don't happen to have a yoga strap, you could use your towel, and you can also go without a strap here as well. So start by sending your left leg long in front of you and take your right leg up to the sky. We can hold behind the thigh, the calf, the foot, or use a strap, okay? Take the foot back a little bit more, extend your left arm out, anchoring you down. And then bring your foot all the way over to the right. Like when I say all the way over to the right, I mean, come to the place in which you feel sensation. That's deep, but not overwhelming. An intensity without like a tension. Yeah. Try pressing through both of your heels, flexing your feet. Become aware if your breathing is shallow or deep. Full, rich breaths. Bring your leg back up to the sky, grabbing the calf, ankle, foot, or the strap with your left hand. Extend the right arm out and bring your foot across to the left side. If your foot is lifted up off the ground, that's perfectly okay. If the foot touches the mat, we may have moved past the stretch into a spinal twist. So I notice that if I lift my foot up off the ground, I'll get more of an outer leg stretch. So you can explore that too, noticing like maybe the foot touching the ground actually takes you out of what you're wanting. That deep outer leg stretch, releasing the IT band region. And take your leg back up to the sky. You can hold behind your calf,
ankle, foot, or the strap, and then draw the leg straight back. You can bring it a little bit to the right as if you're trying to bring your knee to your right shoulder. You can flex the right foot for more intensity. And then release the right leg long onto the mat. Now let's try the other side. Take the left leg upward. You can loop your strap around your left foot, or maybe holding the foot in your left hand. Right arm reaching out at your side like a little wing. And you can bring your leg out, flexing and pushing through both heels. And then scan your body for any unneeded tension, unnecessary tension. And then take your leg up to the sky. Switching hands, grabbing the strap or the foot with the right hand. Left arm is reaching out. Bring the foot across. Again, you know your body, so tune into what you're feeling. Maybe you get the deepest stretch if you put your foot on the ground. Right? Maybe putting your foot on the ground would be harmful. Right? So you know your body. Our yoga practice helps us to become more familiar with ourselves, body, mind, and soul. Pema Chodron, an 80-year-old Buddhist teacher, says that enlightenment or awakening is simply full self-acceptance, to get to know yourself fully, right? And to be fully accepting of who you are truly. That is awakening. And that is enlightenment. Let's go ahead and come back to the center. You can hold behind your thigh, calf, or foot. Take the leg out a little bit and then bring the leg out. That can be challenging to navigate, right? When a self-help book is something to sell, right? Well, we need help, we need to change, right? What if we simply need to tune in and listen? Listen to our spirits, listen to our souls. Notice how we feel when we're in alignment, and notice how we feel when we're not. How we feel when we're being honest and truthful, and how we feel when we're doing the opposite. Right? Slowly we wake ourselves up to knowing who we are, what aligns us, what misaligns us. And take it back to the center and send your leg long in front of you. And here I invite you to take your feet out as wide as the outsides of your mat, and windshield wiper your feet a little side to side. Okay? And then you can, like with your hands, just take your arm, like chest, and slide your arms underneath. You can kind of roll a little side to side so you can create a little comfort for your body. Open your mouth really wide, stretch out your jaw if you want to stick out your tongue for a moment. And just keep lying on your back comfortably. And then once you feel release through your face and jaw, close your eyes, soften your face. Soft closing of the mouth. Tongue is released and relaxed. Feel free to cover yourself with a blanket, to cover your eyes with a towel or a pillow. And once we're resting on our mats, begin to relax your effort to breathe deeply. But simply sit back and witness your body breathing. And as we move into our relaxation, fully accept whatever is going on tonight. If your mind feels relaxed or busy, if your body feels relaxed or restless, accept, try not to change or fight your experience. Observe and notice. And begin to draw your attention to the sounds that you hear.
Are there sounds that you hear? Music? And as you hear the sounds of the music, allow it to flow in. Observe the quality of the sounds that you're hearing. The practice of listening is called Nada Yoga. That listening deeply can awaken a presence. And then begin to shift your attention to feeling. And awareness moves to the space of your forehead, the center of your forehead. Begin to feel your eyebrows and forehead relax. And draw your awareness to your eyelids. Feel them become heavy and eyes become cool and relaxed, sinking deeper. Feel the muscles of the face fully soft. Feel a sense of melting and release of tension in your throat, in the back of your neck. Feel your collarbones softly sink. The shoulder joints become heavier. The muscles of the arms sink down into the mat. Feel the elbows release. The wrist joints soften and melt. Feel your hand heavy, fingers release. Draw your attention to your heart center and imagine that you're breathing in and out through the space of your heart. And bring your awareness to the back of your heart space. Feel your upper back, your upper spine, the muscles of the upper back and your shoulder blades melt into the mat. Release all tension you're carrying there. And journey down to your middle back. Feel it soften, let go, and melt. Low back releases, and any discomfort that's been held in the low back melts away from you, draining away from the body. Feel your pelvis sink heavy, the muscles of your legs, the joints of the hips, the knees, and the ankles release. Feet and toes soft, melting. Imagine that your entire body was frozen like a block of ice, and you have melted now into a puddle on your mat. Sink into this relaxation of melting, releasing. In your mind, picture a beautiful night. It's a warm night in the winter where the snow is falling and it has made the evening bright with a full moon. And you are watching comfortably from a warm place inside, watching the snow falling so slowly to the earth, each flake unique, slowly, slowly falling to the earth. Now imagine there's a fire, a cozy fire, the blanket to cuddle up into. Outside there is a slow snowfall. Inside is cozy and warm. We are safe, we are resting. Keeping your body still, resting on the mat. Bring your awareness to your heart space. Feel your breath become a little deeper in the space of your heart. Take a moment to pause and recognize if there are any whispers, nudges, or messages that are coming from your stillness. You can start to wiggle your toes and wiggle your fingers. When you feel comfortable, stretch your arms long above your head, taking a full body stretch. Bend your knees and roll softly to your right side. We can come up very slowly, all the way to a cross-legged seated position. Eyes can remain closed, bringing your hands together at your heart center. Take a deep breath in. When you exhale, gently bowing forward, honoring the place within us that is peace, that is truth, that is unconditional love. Our yoga practice helps us to come back into alignment so that essence of who we are ripples out into the world. You can gently bow forward. Namaste.